What's up, duelists? Today I've got a replay that was requested in the last video, which is a top 16 match between Carpath versus LWRS. Now, big shout out to everyone who commented on the last video, talked about the last deck. A few things I wanted to talk about was the Amaryllis burn deck is actually a lot harder to play around than you might think. This match might show some of that. I don't know, I haven't watched it yet. But the Volcanic counters, yes, they are mandatory, which means you can crash your weaker monsters into your opponent's strong monsters and kill them out of nowhere. And you can also use them as like surprise tricks with like Wind Blast. There's like a million different ways that the deck makes it really, really hard to win once you get below a certain life point. It's not something that's super intuitive to think about, but I mean, that's kind of the point of showcasing this deck again in another replay and showing off some of its strengths. Shoutouts to Carpath and shoutouts to LWRS for sending me this replay. Let's go ahead and get into the match. Of course, one more thing. If you guys aren't already subscribed, you know, what are you doing? You know, you subscribe, all right? E3 Yu-Gi-Oh! on the come up. You guys see what's happening here. You guys know what's happening here. Rivet Series 2 is going to be massive. You know, everything's going to be big, so you guys don't want to miss out on any of this action. Make sure you're subscribed. All right. Let's see who wins the rock, paper, scissors. If I'm Carpath, I'm picking scissors. If I'm LWRS, I'm picking rock. Let's see it. Okay, I missed it. It was so lightning quick. What just happened? Oh my goodness. They said, what a mess with the pairings. If you guys didn't know, the tournament was so big, we crashed challenge. We crashed challenge site, which is hilarious. We had to manually do the bracket halfway through the tournament just because we crashed challenge. That's how big the Edison tournament bracket was. So many people were clicking on that shit. So many people were on that shit. Rivet Series 1, massive tournament. I think LWRS won. I'm just going to call him lowers because it's easier to say. I don't want to call him L because that's kind of mean. All right, Carpath, who won the die roll? I missed it. Okay, looks like Carpath won the die roll. His hand is really strong. It's really strong. He's got Phoenix Wing Wind Blast with a solid discard. He's got Hidden Armory. And he's got Sangan, which finds him Lone Fire Blossom. I think Sangan's a really key card in this deck because Lone Fire Blossom is so good. And Phoenix Wing Wind Blast is going to ensure that his Lone Fire Blossom resolves through something like Royal Oppression. Looks like lowers is on Debris Dragon, Card Trooper, Lila, Quickdraw. So what is this? What deck is this? I don't know what deck this is. I've never seen this before. This must be some sort of new brew. I wonder what deck this is. Maybe a fan favorite? Maybe a future fan favorite? Maybe a past fan favorite? Who knows? What deck is this? I wonder. All right, Charge of the Light Brigade. Mills, a Volcanic counter. Not great because there's no other fire in the graveyard. But it does find Raikou. And Raikou plus Wind Blast is like, okay, maybe I'm not going to take damage this turn. So the counter's not going to activate. And I'm going to get 3 more mills, maybe even 4 next turn with the Hidden Armory to find a fire. So not that bad. It's not that bad to get it without a fire right now. We'll see if that comes back to bite lowers or comes back to bite Carpath here in the first turn of the game. The draw's Solar Recharge, so it looks like lowers is playing Quick Draw with a Solar Recharge engine. I wonder if that's good or not. Managed to get lowers into top, I don't know if this is a game for top 16 or if this is a game in top 16. I'm pretty sure this is a game in top 16, but it might be the game for top 16. So I managed to get him pretty far in a 145-man tournament, so gotta respect him. Multiple copies of Lila. The Mills Volcanic Shell, so he's on multiple Lilas plus the Volcanic Shell engine. Picks up Quick Draw, which is big. That's really big because you're going to be able to Quick Draw Debris plus Stardust plus Ratio plus Bald. And Carpath's going to get punished for not setting the Wing Blast. I think Carpath's going to lose the Raikou. Maybe not even find another fire and then maybe lose the counter as well. This is a pretty hot start for lowers, I must admit. So Quick Draw activates in hand. This is a ruling that in Edison format, at Shonen Jump Edison, we have discovered given some time. A lot of players kind of remembered that Quick Draw started a chain in the hand. And that obviously isn't the case nowadays. It's an inherent like summon nowadays. But apparently at Shonen Jump Edison and at the regionals afterward in that format, Quick Draw was ruled to activate in your hand. And so it starts a chain. So declares the effect of Quick Draw Synchron here, discards Dandelion. Quick Draw is summoned, makes Drill, brings back Dandelion. You guys know this combo. This is a fucking 12-year-old combo. You know it. It's going to make a Stardust or a Red Dragon. Elects for Stardust. Respectable. Gets the 2 tokens again. Going to attack into the Raikou. Mill only manages to hit a fire. And that's huge. That's super, super huge because now Carpath is in the game. Lowers has already paid 500 life points to a Volcanic shell. That means future paying for the shell is going to be a little bit tricky after taking this 2400 hit. If I'm Lowers, I'm considering not even attacking here. First off, if there's something like Gores, holy shit, you're fucked. You lose your whole board, you lose your whole everything. And then on top of that, you're taking a full 2500 or 2400 point swing from a burn deck. So maybe he's assuming it's not like a full burn deck. Maybe he doesn't know about the Amaryllis stuff yet because it's still early on in the match. But you see trade in, you see Volcanic counter. You got to assume, that there's some shenanigans going on. So this is going to be a big 2400 point swing for both players. Carpath does got to be careful of his life total, but he does have Phoenix Wing Windblast to out one of these synchros. He's got Sangan to find him his other Lone Fire. He's got Hidden Armory, which can find Mark of the Rose. Mark of the Rose could take one of these monsters at some point. I'm curious to see how Carpath navigates the next few turns. Let's see what goes down. Pitches the shell, and then pays another 500 to find the third shell. Ooh, that's a dangerous life total range. That's a dangerous life total range. If Carpath draws another Volcanic counter, he's going to be sitting pretty. No cap. Drill Warrior does a good job at kind of mitigating that because you can just sit there for a while, have Drill Warrior, you know what I mean? Make it weak as fuck. And then ping the opponent to death that way. But that's just a long game, you know what I'm saying? And Lowers is already at half of his life points on the first turn of the game against a burn deck. We'll see if paying for these shells comes back to bite him or not. Sets the bottomless. Carpath, draw for turn is Trap Dustshoot. That's pretty big. Gonna see if Lowers goes to the standby phase or draw phase priorities the Space Typhoon. If I'm Lowers, I'm always gunning this Space Typhoon because there's no reason not to. I guess Royal Oppression, but do you really expect Royal Oppression from the Hidden Armory deck? Lone Fire Blast, I'm like, come on. Like, let's be honest. Like, you can't really expect Royal Oppression from this deck, right? So, I'm gunning the Space Typhoon in draw phase. Lets him go to standby phase, brings back the Drill Warrior, and then gets Dustshooted. And this is the punish for not Typhooning, maybe 50-50ing the Dustshoot here. But I guess it's not that bad. If you're Carpath, you probably take the Debris Dragon. The Debris Dragon represents a much bigger clock. The Debris Dragon can make a Black Rose Dragon, and the Black Rose Dragon can start switching monsters to attack position and then threaten lethal pretty quick. Not immediately, because you will have to banish the Drill Warrior to make a Black Rose with the Debris, but it is a pretty quick lethal clock. Let's see what they end up taking. Yep, they do take the Debris Dragon. The other card that they could have maybe taken was the Card Trooper, but I guess the Card Trooper doesn't really do the same things, and it also kind of clogs up the board and leaves a weak monster in play. Lila's going to switch to defense, target the Phoenix Wing Windblast, targets the Drill Warrior. And that's a heads-up play from Carpath. Carpath getting rid of the Drill Warrior, realizing that the Stardust Dragon is not that big of a deal. He can take the Stardust Dragon with Hidden Armory. He can run it over with Titanium, but the Drill Warrior is going to be the real threat. That's the clock. Really, really heads-up stuff. That Trap Dustshoot was huge, because even if Lowers had elected to return the Quick Draw and go for a second copy of Drill Warrior, the Trap Dustshoot would be able to return that. So I think the way Lowers might have wanted to sequence this game was Space Typhoon in the draw phase, to play around Dustshoot, of course, and then bring back Drill Warrior, return the Quick Draw Synchron. And if he did hit the, other back row, let's say he hit the Wing Blast, right? He hit it before his Drill Warrior comes back. All of a sudden, you maintain your Drill Warrior, it stays in play, right? If he hits the Dustshoot, then the Wing Blast only takes care of one of the quick draw drill shenanigan things. So I think gunning the Space Typhoon in draw phase with turn player priority there is for sure the move. Something to keep in mind for sure if you play this format or any format where Dustshoot is legal and you draw to 4 and you have quick play spells. Stardust Dragon's going to attack into Sangan. Sangan's going to search a Volcanic counter. Now this is big. This is very, very big for Carpath because Carpath can DDR, pitch the Volcanic counter, summon the other Volcanic counter, attack the first Volcanic counter into the Stardust Dragon, activate the second one, deal 1900, I believe. And then all of a sudden, things are looking tough. Things are looking tough for Lowers. But Lowers does have the Space Typhoon still to interact with the DDR. So we'll see if that comes up big or not. End phase mills 3, mills their own Dustshoot, as well as a second copy of Recharge. So they're playing multiple recharges, as well as charge the Light Brigade. Makes sense. Makes sense with multiple Lilas. Maybe that's something. Oh, activates Plague Spreader Zombie. Whoa. This is a combo I didn't even think of. Activates the Plague Spreader, stacks the Volcanic counter. summons the Plague Spreader in attack mode. Okay. Hidden Armories, mills the Volcanic counter, searches Mark of the Rose. That's heads up play. That's heads up play. Because now, okay, are you crashing the Plague Spreader zombie? Let's think here. Let's think. What else could you do? What else could you do? I guess you could go... Let's find out. Let's find out what happens. Mark of the Rose. Baiting the Space Typhoon. Heads up. Heads up. Carpath has a read on this because he knows about the Space Typhoon. And so he's baiting the Space Typhoon, and then he's going to go for DDR on the Lone Fire. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. He did see the Space Typhoon off of the Dustshoot, so he knows about it. He's baiting it here. He's going to be able to go DDR, pitch Dandelion, bring back Lone Fire. Okay, yeah, that's disgusting. What a disgusting setup. He saw through this like 6 moves ahead, playing around what his opponent had as well. Really heads up play from Carpath. Genius stuff, and showcasing the strength of this engine. Honestly, the Hidden Armory engine, and how versatile it is. Okay, pitches the Dandelion, gets his Lone Fires, gets 2 tokens. Yeah, nice indeed. This is going to be able to grab the second Lone Fire to get a fire in the graveyard, and it's going to summon the Titanial. He's going to snap go to battle phase here. I am a little surprised that Lowers did not use the Bottomless on this Titanial. Okay, he's using it. Okay, I just missed that. Must have been Carpath moved a little too fast and then didn't get to Bottomless. Now, one thing that's interesting is that Carpath left the token instead of leaving a Lone Fire. I guess he does need to get a fire engrave, so that makes sense to activate the counter. So he's gonna proceed like this, right? Okay, make Goyo Guardian. Goyo Guardian is gonna steal the Lila and get him some mills, and the mill's gonna hit a Phoenixian Cluster Amaryllis. Oh my goodness. Wow. Crazy. Electing not to steal the Stardust Dragon and just going straight for the mills. Knowing how his deck functions, my deck needs these cards in graveyard to work. This is what needs to happen. Go straight for the Lila in order to get those mills. And if the Lila sticks around, which it looks like it's going to, since Lowers has to answer multiple threats now, the Lila's going to provide a lot more value for Carpath as the game goes on. Really, really heads up play. That whole turn was played immaculately from Carpath. The only thing I think was Snap going to the battle phase a little quick, but hey, there you go. Heavy Storm, not a great draw. I cannot cap. Card Trooper getting summoned here. I guess this is to try and stem the bleeding a little bit. Card Trooper's going to attack over the Amaryllis. This is going to equate to 800 points of burn. Now Lowers is in the, the end game now. 3,800, that's pretty low. And the Lila's going to get attacked, so there's going to be no more mills, except for the Card Trooper's just going to give him more mills, because the Goyo Guardian can take that. The Goyo Guardian can take the Card Trooper, and he can mill more. Oh my goodness. The Card Trooper's going to give Lowers a draw, which is, that is true, and it's going to draw into Mirror Force, which is going to be an out to this Goyo Guardian. But that's not the game that Carpath is playing. Carpath is playing this burn game. Yes, you do need to find an out to the Goyo Guardian. Yes, you are taking 2,400 big hits off of this, and now all of a sudden 2 Amaryllis burns plus the... Oh my god, and now there's 2 counters. This game is just a wrap. There's going to be nothing Lowers can do from this position. Even if he's attacking with something weak, like let's say he's attacking directly with a Raikou, that's still 400 points of damage. You know what I mean? Even if he's attacking directly with this shell, that's still 200 points of damage, putting you at 1,200. So like, you have to put weak monsters in attack position. It's this end game situation, this end game position is so difficult for decks like this to deal with. Once they've gotten into this dangerous life point position, it's so hard to deal with. Like, even if they do out these counters, okay, how are you going to out this Amaryllis that still has 3 reanimations? You know what I mean? That's 2,400 points of burn, almost guaranteed. No Kai is found, but a Bottomless is found, so that's going to be able to answer the Amaryllis at a later point, but you're still taking, what, 800 here, you go to 600. Goyo Guardian's going to be another 300 over the Stardust. That's assuming there's no... I guess the Mirror Force doesn't out it. Yeah, so the Mirror Force is going to protect the Stardust. Okay. And you've got Bottomless for the Amaryllis. Okay, stabilized a little bit. But then you still have to worry about these 2 counters. You can never attack directly at this point. You're going to 600. What are you going to do? Attack directly with Volcanic Shell 56 times? You can't do that. You can't win the game. There's not enough turns in the game left for that. You know what I'm saying? The Mills Dandelion, big, getting 2 tokens. It's another revival for the Amaryllis as well. And there's still 2 more Amaryllis left in deck. You got to factor that in as well. And they're going to hit the grave because of this trade. And Mirror Force is going to destroy both monsters. No draw is going to happen for Lowers because you have to control Card Trooper in order to get the draw. A little bit of a misstep there, but that's fine. End phase brings back the Amaryllis, gets Bottomless. Okay, but now you have 2 Dandelion tokens. You attack over, let's say you attack over both of them by summoning the shell. You either have an attack position shell, or the Dandelion token is going to crash and you're going to lose the game. This drill can't attack directly. It can't attack directly. It just has to go, and there's the token. You had to attack over the tokens. Yep. And there's both counters activating, and that's game. Disgusting. Disgusting. Well navigated for Carpath. Absolutely geniusly played. Lore's played a little bit suboptimally in the early game, but, I mean, how do you know? How do you know that this is what they're on until you see it happening to you? It's a little too late, right? You're like, oh, this is just another Quickdraw deck. Oh my goodness, I'm dead. You know what I mean? You go to 4,000, you're just like, oh god, I can't win now. Yeah, very scary deck. Very scary deck, and that shows the power of Volcanic counter. It's a checkmate position card. Like, okay, yeah, you can force it. You can summon your Raikou and attack me directly. Then I'll summon a Titanial attack over your Raikou for 2,600 or whatever. Like, that's super genius. Super genius. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Let's see if Loris is able to put something together here in the next game. Maybe not pay for so many shells. Maybe not activate the Solemn Judgment. Okay, so here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Your opponent's playing a fucking burn deck, right? Why? Okay, don't get me wrong. Solemn Judgment's a great card, right? But why is it in your deck? Post-board? Why is Volcanic Shell in your deck post-board? You can very easily side out all of the cards that make you pay life points against the burn deck. That's just something you can do, right? You can side out Solemn Judgment. You can side out Volcanic Shells. You don't need Solemn Judgment to win this matchup. What is Solemn Judgment going to do for you? It does nothing to stop the, like Raikou stuff that's happening. And it does nothing to stop the Volcanic counter. So it's not stopping the stuff that matters. That's not stopping the stuff that kills you. So I think that this card should definitely be sided out in this matchup. I would definitely side this out. And I might even consider siding out all 3 shells. But we'll see. We'll see if it pans out. I mean, he's going to be able to make a, what is this, a turn 1 Drill Warrior? The cost of 500 life points. Well, actually, he doesn't even have to pay 500. Yeah. Ooh, he does, though. He does to get the free discard. Respectable, respectable. Drill Warrior's going to come back. I think Drill Warrior is definitely a way you want to win this matchup. For Carpath, you've got Trap Dustshoot, which unfortunately is going to be super dead. I mean, you're going to be able to put back the Debris Dragon, but like Debris Dragon was never getting summoned here anyway. I guess you might be able to put back the Quick Draw if he adds that back after turn or whatever he draws. But it's like not great because it doesn't deal with the Resolve Drill, but you do have Wind Blast for the drill. Going for Hidden Armory on turn 1 to set up, get the equip spells going, and luckily mills a Necrogarna, which is pretty big too. And that's something I was wondering about playing the first game with this deck, where I milled very fortunately, and then I thought about it. I was like, between 3 Volcanic counters, right? 3 Amaryllis, Plague, Necro, 2 Dandelion. You have 10 cards you want to mill. You are going to get a lucky mill at some point in a game. Like, assuming you mill like 6, 7, 8 cards in a game, you're going to get at least 1 lucky mill. A quarter of your deck is a lucky mill. So I was thinking like in the game I was playing, oh, I'm getting really lucky. But then I'm like, no, the deck is just built to mill well. So it's kind of cool. Kind of cool that way. Draw for the turn is Dandelion. That's big. That's big because now all of these cards are good. All of these cards are turned on. I'm assuming the Dustshoot is going to take the Dandelion. Oh, no. Oh, no. Solemning the Dustshoot. That's interesting. That's interesting. Was Dustshoot activated in main phase 1? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter if it was, because this isn't like a lethal setup. Cold Wave chains the Wind Blast. But then you're still going to be able to drill plus Stardust or drill plus Red Dragon. The reason I'd summon Red Dragon is because then you have 1 lethal attacker. And you don't have to attack with 2 monsters on the next turn. I don't know why that would matter, but yeah. Yeah, because then you force cards like, I don't know, Magic Cylinder or Dimension Wall. You don't really know what he's on, I guess. I guess that's the thing. You don't really know what he's on. Wind Blast was able to discard a Plague Spitter zombie, so maybe that's factoring into your consideration for going for Stardust. But Plague Spitter makes Goyo, so that's another reason I probably would have gone for Red Dragon here. Just increase the clock to the point where you have 1 lethal attacker that they have to stop every single turn. And then if they do set up counters, you can go for the drill pokes. But like, it's like one of those like, okay, I have 2 lethal threats now. Like, yes, you lose your tokens, but what are the tokens really doing for you here? Also, this deck plays Lonefire Titanial, which your board does relatively nothing about. So, I probably would have gone for Red Dragon here. If I'm lowers, I don't know. It's tough. I'm definitely considering it. He's really low in life points, so we'll see if that comes back to bite him or not. Does take the full amount. No, doesn't take the full amount. Ends up Necrogardening. Sets the Volcanic counter. I don't know if I would have done that. Yeah, because you can DDR the Necrogardener, normal Volcanic counter, stack for Plague. And the DDR can pitch Phoenixian Cluster, which turns on your counter, or not counter, it turns on your, yeah, it turns on your counter in graveyard, and it also turns on your Mark of the Rose on the following turn. So I probably would have gone for go 8-star here, like Thought Ruler attack over Drill. And then it's like they're top decking, but they're top decking something to your, like their Stardust to your Thought Ruler, and you have a live Mark of the Rose on the top of your deck. So if they break it with something like a Caius, all right, because you secure an insane position here. Let's see if these average draws would have broken an 8-star synchro. And they wouldn't have. Now Carpath's in a bad position here. Here's Debris Dragon. Here's Iron Chain. Stardust attacks first. I actually think you can attack with Drill here pretty safely, unless you're afraid of Raikou. Iron Chain is not something you want to attack directly with against this deck. But I guess it doesn't matter because the Drill will attack first, and that'll force the counter, and then Iron Chain attacks next, and then they just go too low to where the next counters won't matter. Yeah, he doesn't take damage because there was no other fires. This is going to mill 3 cards. Doesn't mill anything that matters. Let's see if Carpath can mount any sort of comeback with this DDR and Mark of the Rose shenanigans. Mark of the Rose is going to be able to break this. DDR is going to be able to put a Titanium in play, but the Drill's coming back for lethal. Oh no. Oh no, stack for Plague, make Colossal, steal the Stardust, attack for game. Oh, I'm crazy. I keep forgetting Lowers paid half his life points to Solemn. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so bad. I'm not even paying attention to this game. This game is so complex. This was such a crazy game. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. He just said, fuck it, you can't kill me. And then he said, I will Mark of the Rose kill you back when you banish your Drill next turn. Oh man. Went for game. The whole time I'm thinking here, like, Carpath is going to die to the Drill. But little did I know, Lowers isn't even going to get the Drill back. He's not even going to get another turn because he's at 3750. It all comes back to what I said turn 1. Don't leave in Solemn Judgment against the burn decks. Don't leave in your Volcanic Shells. Don't pay life points against the burn decks. Don't put yourself in this situation where you can randomly die to a tutorable Snatch Steal. Wow. Crazy shit. Crazy shit. The fact that he could have even gone different routes with this whole turn is crazy. He knew what he had to do. He was just waiting to get the damage in on a direct attack. Wow. Really heads up play. Really dope stuff. Hopefully this helps showcase the power of the Phoenixian burn deck a little bit more. It's not just a, like, burn deck, right? It is like this aggro deck where it's like, okay, you paid 2,000 life points, you lost 4,000 life points. What are you going to do now? Like, you have to navigate these really tricky situations. And I think Lowers did a decent job of navigating it. I think there was like some mistakes made here and there, like leaving in the Solemn Judgment, but he played to his outs. Maybe making the Red Dragon was a little bit better than making the Stardust, maybe whatnot, but, you know, did that damage end up mattering? Yeah, it actually did. It ended up mattering because I think Carpath survived at 700. I mean, and these are the little things that matter against this deck, right? You have to play perfectly, and on top of playing perfectly, it's really hard to break through some of the checkmate positions the deck can set up with even like regular mills. I would say that Carpath's hand this game was actually quite bad, and he was still able to navigate it to a solid win. So, well played to both players. This is either the game that solidified Carpath into top 16, and he won a game after to get into top 8, or this was the game that got him into top 8. So shout out to him again for such an innovative deck. Very, very sweet stuff. And shout out to Lowers for sending me the replay and just saying like, yeah, I didn't play perfectly, but I want you to showcase it on the channel. I want you to show off what people can learn from this and show off the power of the deck. So shout out to him as well. Anyway, guys, E3 Yu-Gi-Oh! Smash like, subscribe. Signing off. Peace out, everyone.